Hello, judges. My name is Jim Jack. I'm the IFSA head judge as well as the head judge for the Free Skiing World Tour. I've been involved in free skiing for over 20 years, and in the process, I've competed and I've judged hundreds of events, I think thousands of skiers. But what you need to know as a judge is that we're here for the athletes. We are their biggest fans, and we're also their biggest critics. But the importance of our job is that we're here to encourage and reward good, sound, calculated skiing of these competitors. It's also our job and process to make sure that we mark and discount skiing that is otherwise reckless or uncalculated and could otherwise negatively affect and impact the image and the integrity of our sport. The IFSA created this judging criteria to provide a credible and measurable format for the subjective platform of competitive free skiing. Our goals are many, not only to reward this skiing, but to also be the biggest fans of the sport, to encourage safe, calculated decisions, and to always remind the athletes that we're here to celebrate the sport of skiing and enjoy the mountains. So here we go. We've seen some pictures here. We're here to reward this type of skiing, but we're definitely here to discourage this type of skiing. Obviously, we don't like to see things like this. And when we do, our scoring criteria allows us to discourage that, to discredit that. We want our sport to be recognized as a positive sport, one that is controlled, filled with good decision-making athletes. We are professionals, and we want to make sure we represent these professional athletes in that manner. So in our judging format, it goes like this. We're at a 3-in-1 judging format works best. That's where we have one head judge and 3 scoring judges. This provides a flow and continuity to the event, and the head judge is able to focus more on helping build the line score as the skier leaves the gate. The other judges can then just focus on the execution. They can watch the skier, they can watch their control, their technique, their fluidity, and get that impression. The head judge can break it down, build the line, call out the line score once the skier is finished into the corral. It's on a 1 to 10 scale in each category. The skier has an opportunity to score 50 points. Each judge will score all 5 of their categories on a scale of 1 to 10. Once these scores are in, they're tabulated, they're added, divided by the number of judges, and we come up with an average score, and that is the skier's score for that run. Pretty simple. We like to keep it simple. Let's go over some criteria and the scoring process. Line score. In our game, everything's pretty much related to line score. And line score is based on what? Difficulty. The difficulty of the terrain, skiing through and negotiating terrain features, airs, exposed areas, things that make that line more difficult, that's going to give more value to the skier's line. Some things that affect this, difficulty factors would be steepness, exposure. That would make a line score go up. There's mandatory airs. That would up your line score. Technical features. Terrain nuggets, we like to call these. These are good opportunities for athletes to show their style and their creativity with a trick or some grabs or what have you. And then, of course, snow conditions can definitely affect the difficulty of the line or the lack of snow conditions in this case. We got to have a base rule. None of these execution scores can exceed the line score by more than 3 points. That's where the chess game begins for these skiers. They have to find a run that they can ski well, but nothing that's too difficult that they lose points in these other categories. So it's our job to recognize this. But remember, the 3-point rule, if you're going to score somebody 3 points above in these other categories, those are the exceptional ones. Those are the ones that make you jump out of your seat and, freak out because it was so amazing. Save those 3 points for those big moves like that. Now, this is very important. As a judge, It's our job to make sure we're providing a safe environment, and we recognize dangerous zones of a mountain. Not all zones on a venue go. Some days they might, but these are called no-fall zones. And obviously areas of exposure and personal risk are not the areas we want to see people losing control in. So this can very much affect your decisions on skiers' execution. Falling in an exposed area, crashing or landing too big for conditions or their ability, large traverses to control speed when they're coming off a big air or out of a chute. If they use the entire hill to slow down, that's kind of a speed control issue. But making sure that things that happen in these no-fall zones are hit very severely. And no-fall zones have to be communicated to the athletes and to the starter before the event starts. Full crashes at the finish may not be a no-fall zone, but crashes at finish areas or in areas of consequence can definitely negatively affect your control score. For instance, this is a venue in Alaska. This is a critical area where control is paramount. This entire venue here was considered a no-fall zone. If you fell in here, you were going to be treated as such. What we do with no-fall zones, we have a 2-point rule. 2-point rule means this. Say you ski a 6 line, someone crashes in a no-fall zone, and they get a 2 in control. Well, they can't get more than a 4 in fluidity, in technique, or in style. That's where the punishment lies, and that's what we really need to focus on, making sure skiers make good decisions and know where these no-fall zones are and indicate those. The important thing is, as judges, is that we make sure we relay to the athletes to evaluate conditions thoroughly, probe their landings, look at the snow conditions, make good decisions.